Look at my camera, you guys. I don't know what's going on. It's fuzzy this morning. It was fine 2 minutes ago. Now it's all fuzzy. Let me turn this music down. Not here on TikTok. Here on TikTok, we're good. We're good. But over here on all of the other places, we're acting crazy. You know, this is what technology does, and you just gotta go with it sometimes. You just gotta go with it. Let me see if I can get this camera up and going right, you guys. Like it's gonna do what it needs to do. It's acting like it can't see me. Like I'm right here. It's acting like it can't see me, but at least you guys can hear me. Let me turn on this music a little bit. Welcome to a glimpse of growth with Dr. Dale, you guys. Today we're going to talk about emotional growth. And to talk about it comes with a price. We think it doesn't come with a price, but it comes with a price. It always comes with a price. It always comes with a price. So I used to say this saying all the time, and I used to think that welcome, you guys. Good morning. I used to think that it was in the Bible, but it's not in the Bible, you guys. It's not in the Bible. The saying is, good things come to those that wait. Have you guys heard that saying before? Have you guys heard that saying before? Good things come to those who wait. Is that a song? Is that a song? Have you guys heard it? Am I the only person that heard it? I heard that growing up for years. For years. And it came to my mind because of this conversation, because it says it's to say that good things come to those that wait. And I thought that was in the Bible, but it's not. It's not. There you go, you guys. My camera's good now. So you just got to give it some time for it to catch up to this loveliness. You got to give it some time. So good things come to those who wait. It's not in the Bible, but it sounds good, right? It sounds good because if you think about growth and all the ways, welcome to a glimpse of growth, you guys. My name is Dr. Dale Laing-Hall, and I come in here every Wednesday. I'm gonna try to come in more often, but it's definitely every Wednesday, 8:15 to 8:30. Come in here for like 30 minutes and kind of drop some gems, have a conversation. We talk about all things emotional intelligence. We talk about the workplace. We talk about employees, employers, all the craziness that happens in the workplace, and how we can help you solve that. How we can find our sanity in all of this stuff that goes on in the workplace and at home even, right? Because emotional intelligence doesn't only show up when we are being pressed. It shows up when we are in our quiet time, alone, by ourselves, when nobody else is there. And it's telling us to do things, to think things. What are we doing? So it's the mindset, right? And our emotional growth that comes along with that. So my question to you guys this morning, are you paying the price of emotional growth? Are you? Are you? We talk about wanting to grow, to evolve emotionally, financially, spiritually, physically, right? To be calmer under pressure, to not let anybody, upset us. We talk about those things, to lead better, to be better moms, to be better dads, to be better friends, to be a better spouse. We talk about that stuff, to love better, to be able to respond instead of reacting. We talk about that. But but what happens when we don't always do that? What happens when we talk about wanting all of these great things? Welcoming you guys, Virginia, Patience, welcome, good morning. My name is Dr. Dale. I'm talking about emotional intelligence. Today we're talking about the emotional growth. Emotional growth comes with a price. And we're talking about wanting to grow. We talk about wanting to grow, wanting to be a better person. But are we paying the price? We forget that comes with a price. question is, are we ready, willing, and able to pay that price? Because emotional growth is not free. Baby boy, baby girl, emotional growth is not free. It will cost you something. Your comfort, your your pride, your excuses, your sometimes even relationships that don't go where you want them to go. And that's the part that most people forget, that we don't post about. That's the part we keep quiet, right? It's the quiet, it's the uncomfortable work of becoming emotionally intelligent. To become emotionally intelligent, it costs you something. I remember a season in my life when I prayed for peace. But what I didn't realize was that peace required boundaries. It required me to start saying no. It required me um start holding myself accountable for some things that I didn't want to hold myself accountable for. It required me to start showing up a little bit more real, a little bit more honest. Black boy, you know what I'm talking about? Sophia, thank you guys for joining. Good morning. Good morning. I wanted healing. I wanted peace, but healing required me to be honest. I wanted confidence, you know, but confidence required me to confront some stuff. Some stuff that I definitely wasn't ready to confront. I was telling myself stuff that weren't true. And that is the cost. That was my cost. Just one part of my emotional growth. I wanted healing, but I needed to be honest with myself first. I wanted to grow, but I needed to start saying no to some people, to start saying no to myself, or yes, right? You know, to see, to see that every new level of growth demanded a new level of truth for me. So we say that we want to grow, that we want to, you know, we want to be a better person, a better friend, a better sister, a better brother, a better daughter, you know, dad, you know, I'm going to own my business one day. You know, I want to be a better employee, a better boss. But you forget that with that decision comes some uncomfortable stuff, some uncomfortable growth that you're probably not ready for. And the question is, are you willing to pay it? You gotta be, this is what it is. It doesn't get any easy. You thought, you know, I used to think that it was easier than what I actually thought it was when I was growing up. I was like, come on, this stuff can't be this hard. It is. It is. You know why? It's I wouldn't necessarily now looking back at it call it it's hard. It's just that we learned some things growing up that didn't necessarily serve us. And now we are growing up slowly but surely, and we are coming to the realization that those things that we learned wasn't right, or, you know, probably it was fine for that time. And now you know better. And now you are forced to decide, do you want to continue doing that thing that you know is not serving you and not helping you grow? Or do you want to do better? And in order for you to want to do better, because there's that gap, right? There's that gap between who I was and who I want to be, right? And there's that gap. You have to decide, do you want to continue on that path? And if you want to continue down a new path, you're going to have to grow. And you're going to have to pay a price. And you know what? That price is not cheap. Oh my gosh. It ain't cheap. Okay? Because it's about who you are, what you need, what you are no longer willing to carry. And that's what we're talking about today, the price of emotional growth. Because when you start doing this work, when you start working on yourself, right? Growing emotionally, that means that you know your strengths, your weaknesses, what you know, the stuff that you stand for, your self-awareness, you know your blind spots. And then you're not blaming other people for what happened to you and for the things that you do. It's your choice. You have a choice to let it bother you, or you have a choice to not let it bother you. You have a choice to make that phone call or not make that phone call. You have a choice to be at peace or not be at peace. It's your choice. So why can we stop blaming everybody else for our choices? People gonna do what they do. People gonna always do what they do. We can't control what they do. So why are we continuing to try to control what people do? The real work, you have to pay that yourself because it's your life. They have theirs, you have yours, your life. You have to pay for that discomfort and grow. And then once that discomfort, at some point, as you continue to practice, at some point that discomfort is no longer going to be a discomfort. It's going to be a comfort. You know, I knew I wanted peace, and in order for me to start having a more peaceful life, I needed to start saying no to some things and some people. And when I had to make that jump or make that decision and live that every day and pick up that phone call and say no. At first I was like, no, because I wasn't sure, and because I was scared of how they were going to respond. But then afterwards, you know, no, I don't think that's going to work for me today. No, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. Well, the question becomes, they ask, well, why not? I just don't feel like it. I don't think that's where I want to be anymore. What else are they going to say? Okay. That's it. So that's what this conversation is today. And I just want to talk about 2 or 3 points. That's it. Thank you guys for joining. Good morning. Welcome to A Glimpse of Growth with Dr. Dale. And we're talking about emotional growth. And the one, so how many minutes? Okay, so we got 12. We got about 15 more minutes to be in here. You guys, there's a lot going on over here. So the first point I want to cover is that the price of self-awareness. You can't grow emotionally without first facing yourself. Emotional growth starts with honesty. Seeing your patterns, seeing your triggers, your blind spots, what what is making you uncomfortable, what is making you comfortable, what is going to be that price of that discomfort. It's easier to point it outward. It's easier to fix the things that are tangible. For example, I am not going to go to that group anymore. I'm just going to stop showing up. I'm not going to go to that brunch anymore with that group of people. I'm not going to do that anymore because those girls, that group, they always make fun of me. And so what do? I slowly stop showing up. I don't go in that group anymore. Every time they meet on Thursdays for brunch, I'm not going to answer in the group. I am going to remove myself from the group. I am going to not show up. I am going to stop answering messages. And see, bam, easy, done. That's external. That's tangible. That's outward. That is easier for me to do than for me to start working on the stuff that I need to change for myself. Personal stuff. For example, for me, that's for me. I don't know about you. For me, right? I'm just telling you about for me. So, for example, the inward stuff could be, all right, I am okay. My boss keeps yelling at me. My boss, I've been working at this company for 3 years. I do an amazing job. My evaluation is on point. I get a 5 out of 5 every year. I'm doing great. But every time he gets frustrated, he feels like he needs to yell at me. He feels like he needs to stomp his hand, slam doors, put emails to me in all caps. He feels like he needs to do all of these things to me, right? And how I respond whenever he does it, it vexes my inner being, my soul to an extent that an extent that I cannot even explain. And I'm not saying this is not, I had this experience, right? And it used to vex my soul so much, but I said nothing about it. I did nothing about it. Do you know someone like that? Are you someone like that? Do you know someone that is like going through stuff like that, with stuff with your boss, or the stuff that they do and how they react and how they respond to things around you, completely out of control, their reaction? So what happens? Something like that requires me to stand up to him, to respond to him. Now that is something that I have to do, and before I can do that, I have to be able to be strong on the inside. I have to be strong and find my courage and find my bravery on the inside to do that and stand up to him and say, hey, why do you have to do what? I don't appreciate you yelling at me. Why are you yelling? Can you please not do that anymore? I do not appreciate it. So the price of emotional growth, the first price that you're going to have to probably pay is the price of self-awareness, facing yourself. You're going to have, every time you have a discomfort about something someone did to you, or or situation is going on in front of you, you are going to have to make a choice. Are you going to allow yourself to stay in that discomfort, or are you going to do something about it? I went to a wedding a couple months ago, and I didn't know the wedding was going to be outside. And let me tell you, it was last year or 2 years ago. I don't know what it was. The sun, it was in the summer, and the sun was piping hot. You hear what I say, Juliet? It was piping hot. I'm out here in South Florida, so it's hot, okay? And the sun was so hot, you guys. I'm already a nice, chocolate skin. You guys see my skin? Nice, beautiful skin, right? Imagine if I was to get rid of this skin by sitting in that sun. What happened? Everybody was there. The sun was, I couldn't. The sun was so hot. I mean, they didn't have any shade. We would have to sit in the sun, and I had to make a choice. Corey, Jackie, Silva, I had to make a choice when I was there in that at that wedding. I had to decide: am I going to sit here to please ... or am I going to wait in the car? What do you guys think I chose? I don't like being hot. And then on top of that, I'm in the sun and I'm burning up. Nah. Dr. Dale had to make a choice, you guys. And that's because that's my comfort, right? That's something that I needed at that point in time very badly, very badly. And I looked to my husband and I told him, hey, you know what? This is not working out for me. I'm going to go and wait in the car and let me know when it's like almost ending, and I'll come and like cheer and, whatever it is that you guys want me to do. I'll jump and everything. It was a mess. Okay. So I left. and I waited in the car where it was some AC. But that's just a very small choice, Landa. Brianna. That was just a very small thing. I could have sat there and wait for that 45 minutes, an hour. I could have, but I chose not to because it really made me very uncomfortable to sit there in this sun and wait. You know what I mean? It really bothered me. So I had to like make a choice for myself. And that's what I did. Self-awareness is freedom. It is the foundation of every emotional intelligence skill. It is the first step to emotional intelligence, self-awareness. You can't heal what you won't face. I'll say that again. Iyanla Vincent said, you can't heal what you will not face. And you have to face yourself first. So my question to you with this first point, what emotion do you tend to avoid the most? For some people, it's anger. For some people, for me, it's I don't like to be overwhelmed. When I get overwhelmed, I get very curt. I know that about myself. And when overwhelm happens for me, I know it's trying to push me towards something that I usually don't like. So I have to pace myself. I don't like to be, I don't like people pushing me to do something. I like to do it at my own time. I know that about myself, right? You have to know yourself. Yeah, if you don't know the basics about you, then anybody can say and do and anything as it relates to you, and you won't know what to say. No, I don't like that. Yes, I don't like that. Which is why emotional intelligence tells you you have to know yourself. Self-awareness. The second point I'm going to make here, and probably the last point, is the price of accountability. Growth requires owning your part, even when it's easier to blame somebody else. You know how many people I used to blame for things? I blame so many people. I blame so many people for so many things. I blame my bosses. I blame my parents. I blame my siblings. I blame so many people for things that happen with situations and situationships. I blame so many boyfriends. Like, I blame people for things that maybe I should have owned first, because they have to own their part. I'm not saying they didn't have a part in it. I'm saying I didn't own my part in it. So that's my prompt for you. Where is it that you are reacting instead of responding and not owning your part in that? Emotional maturity means taking responsibility for your reactions, not just your results. How you gonna own just the result? You gotta take action. You gotta take action for what led you to those results. You may not like it. It may not feel good, but you gotta own it. That's a part of being adulting. Yeah, who likes it? I mean, it is what it is. There's some great things about adulting, and there's some other things that are not so great. But that's the part. That part right there is the part that you need to own. Right? That's the part that you need to own. So, leaders, people who embrace accountability, they build credibility and trust within their teams, within their, their employees, their family members. Like, can someone rely on you to be honest? Can someone rely on you to be truthful and not try to pretend that you are being a friend when you're not really being a friend because you're not being honest? Emotional maturity means taking responsibility for actions, not just the results. When something go wrong, then we start pointing fingers. Most of us. What happens when things are not going so? When things are going right, then everybody wants that credit, right? So my point is, when things are going right or not so right, own it all. Own it all, right? That's a part of being responsible for your actions. That price costs sometimes when things don't go right. Right? The price is sometimes it's too heavy because it comes with your, sometimes it's your ego. It's that shame. It's growth sometimes asks us to trade being right for being real. Sometimes you have to let go of I am right, Carolinda. I am right for maybe I was wrong, to maybe some listening instead of jumping to conclusion. This is a big one for me, you guys. You guys have no idea. This is a big one for me. So just like you, this is not something that happens from one day to the other. This is something that you're going to constantly have to try to work at every day intentionally. And what do I mean by intentionally? I mean you have to actually be conscientious of when you are doing it. And even if you have someone that you know, like, and trust, and they can help hold you accountable. Like, I have my husband for a lot of it, even when I don't want to hear it. He still tells me, he's like, you did that thing that you said you didn't want to do. You did that just now. I did. And so he explains it to me, and I was like, I did. Yikes. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. So until you get used to it, the more you practice your brain to remember, hey, I don't want to be cutting you off every single time you're talking. I don't want to be doing that anymore. So that requires me to maybe slow down. I have this thing now where every single time I'm going into a tough conversation, and I say tough because it's maybe not tough for me, but tough for them, or because they're going to get they're going to hear something that they probably don't want to hear, or I'm going into a discussion with the husband, or I'm about to talk to a client and share something that they're going to need more, me holding their hands on, or an employee, right? So what I do now is, Lucy, is that I have this, I have this here now, but there's a coin, and there's going to be, I have something coming out, so you guys can like, I don't want to share about it yet because I want to have like an example to show you guys, but I'm working on a project that you guys are gonna love. So I mentioned this before. So now what I do in those stuff conversation is I take something that's going to remind me to do two things: to listen or reflect. Nothing else. In that conversation, I listen, I reflect. So that way my knee-jerk reactions are limited. And I have this thing here is reminding me, keep it together. Fix your face. Make sure that you're being supportive. Really listen to what they're saying. Don't fold your hand, because that's telling them that you're mad at them. Just look at your body language. Don't yell. Don't fidget. Like Whatever it is that you do with yourself, when you are pissed off or not, you're in a conversation that is making you feel uncomfortable, or you're in, not that somebody's disrespecting you or anything, it's just that somebody's telling you something that hey, you made them feel a certain type of way, or you're in a conversation where you have to grow yourself. You're going to need some reminders, because when you're in it, Emily, good morning, thank you for joining. When you're in it, you don't remember any of that stuff, right? Everything goes to hell. You don't remember any of that stuff. Accountability sometimes feels like someone is attacking you when you're not ready to receive something, when you're not ready to acknowledge a behavior. I'm going to say that again. Accountability sometimes feels like an attack when you're not ready to acknowledge your behavior. I remember so many times looking back at positions that I was in. I had just come into management, a frontline employee, and managers telling me things that, looking back now, they were right in what they said, not probably in how they said it, right? That I do not have a poker face. That is clear as day. And they were kind of giving me counsel on how I should probably respond in these situations, or when I'm listening to something that I probably don't agree with. My body language just spoke volumes, and they would tell me things and I wasn't ready to listen. I didn't care two flights about what they were saying at the time. But I learned the hard way. I had to learn that how I made other people feel around me, I cared about it. And I care so much about it that I wanted to do something about it. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean? I did not want to make people feel uncomfortable around me, or not want to be around me, or feel like I didn't respect them or care about them. I didn't like for people to make me feel that way. So I endeavor to do better, to not make other people that are around me to feel that way. So this second one is very touchy, but it's because it's turning the mirror on yourself, right? It's turning a mirror on yourself, and it's asking you, are you holding yourself accountable for things that you have been ignoring and pretending and pointing at other people? Or maybe you do need to listen. Maybe you do need to take that responsibility for how you reacted. Maybe your ego. Josla, thank you guys for popping in. Maybe your ego is not helping the situation. What is that price? Because again, that emotional growth, I don't care what level you are at. Les Brown said you are either in a problem right now, you are about to go into one, or you are coming out of one. The question is, where are you? Because it's not whether or not you're going to come into some type of life issue. It could be health related, wealth, money related. It could be family related, friends related. It could be job related, career related. It doesn't matter. The point is that emotional growth, I don't care what you do, is going to cost you something. Are you willing to pay the price? That is my only question for you guys today. Emotional growth always comes with a price. If you are ready, willing, and able, are you ready to pay that price? Sometimes we're not ready to pay that price. When I had first became a manager, I was not ready to pay that price. When I first became manager, your girl was not ready to pay that price. I was not ready to pay the price. So I blame other people. I pushed it off. I pretended that it did not exist. I pretended it was other people's problem and not mine. I pointed fingers at everybody else, blamed everybody else, pretended it wasn't there, pretended I was unbothered, but I was dying on the inside. And at some point in time, I had to make a decision. Am I going to be real with me, real with them, start having some boundaries, and getting some real peace? Because I say all the time on this podcast, you guys, you have to protect your peace like it's property. Like it's property, because it is. And without it, you can't have no peace. Without peace, you can't have peace. So that's what I have for you guys today. We talked about two of those growth areas: the price of self-awareness and the price of accountability. I think I have a guest next week. So we're going to continue this conversation after. After. We have about 7 of these, I think. Yeah, 7. So every next level of your life will demand a new person, a new version, a new level, a new growth, a new version of you. And that version always comes with a price. The question isn't whether it's worth it. The question is whether you're willing to pay it. If this connected with you, if you resonated with this, let me know in the chat. Like, comment, share, all the things at the bottom, and DM me. Let me know what you guys think. Share your emotional growth and what price are you paying right now? What are you going through right now? I'm going through some family lies, past lies that I'm in the process of having to probably forgive or not forgive, or not ready to forgive. Whatever that is, you decide. You have to pay to grow. You have to pay to grow. We have to pay to grow, Bobby. Good morning, Sierra. Good morning, you guys. You have to pay to grow. And that payment that you have to put in to the bank to pay to grow, it's going to allow you to be a deeper person, a better person. I don't care, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your a family member, your church member, you're a boss of your own boss, and you have your own company, or you work for someone. It's going to allow you to be a better human being, because that's what emotional intelligence does. That's what I work with my clients, so my executive coaching. That's what I have with I have an online course, all things emotional intelligence. And that's what we talk about. This is what we discuss: how to level up your emotional growth. Because if you don't know, no matter what you're doing, if you're a business owner, if you are an employee, your growth will in all of the things, in financially, spiritually, all the things, that level of your growth will depend on your level of emotional growth. It all depends on you, your self-awareness. So if you guys want more, check out my website, Dale Reports, and we'll be able to, I'll see you guys back here next week, Wednesday. I think I do have a guest, but I'll come back on anyway, because the guest I think is in the evening. So I will be here with you guys next week, Wednesday. We could do this all over again. I love doing this. Thank you guys for having this conversation with me. Part 1. And we're probably going to make this a part 2 or 3. Thank you guys. Like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think. And if anything I can help you at, you guys have my website, Dale Reports, and dalereports.com, and we can continue this conversation. This was so great. Thank you guys for staying with me. And I'll see you guys next week. I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for being here and supporting this channel. If you enjoyed this episode and this content, it would mean a lot to me if you would take a few seconds to ensure you are subscribed to A Glimpse of Growth with Dr. Dale. Click the notification bell to receive notification. Share it with someone you think may need it. And let's continue to become more intelligent with our emotions. Thank you. See you later.